Good morning, multipliers. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Judah.
I thought it'd be fun today if we talked about some interesting food facts that will blow your minds.
Blow my mind, Judah. Let's hear it. Let's see it. I want to know it.
Okay, so the first thing on the list is that a bag of Doritos only has 11 chips. Now, these are like the snack size, I think.
The little ones? I don't know. 11 chips seems a little light. I think it's probably going to be more than that.
I feel like 11 kind of sounds like more than there normally is.
Well, let's just test it out.
All right.
Just so happens that we have 2 bags of chips, so we can do a control run. I actually wanted the Funyuns.
Oh, okay.
Got those for myself.
Gotcha.
So we are going to see just how many are in each bag. All right, so Funyuns, 1. A half of.
Do broken count?
Let's go with fulls initially. 2.
Okay. 1.
3. The Funyuns are really broken.
Yeah, these are really broken too. I think we have to count the broken.
4. Okay, they're all broken from here.
Yeah, mine are all broken.
Well, but yours are more solid pieces than mine. Mine
yeah,
are.
That's true, but they're not.
Look at mine. Like it's just
can't see that on
it's
there,
just a broken mess. So I think Funyuns are a fail.
Okay.
But there's probably around 11, honestly, looking here. If I was to make these full Funyuns, I think we'd be seeing about 11.
I've counted about 13, but they're all like, not full chips. So,
Well, a few of them you can put together and kind of see if they would make a full chip.
yeah, so 11's probably about right.
11,
honestly.
that's crazy.
We're going to eat these later, just so you know.
Later? What are you talking about?
Okay, maybe during the show.
Whoa.
Okay, so the next
good.
one I have on here is that the myth that double dipping actually spreads more germs is false.
What?
Yeah, apparently double dipping spreads just as many germs as single dipping, which I don't understand how
is that
could
possible?
Be. I don't know. It doesn't explain.
Maybe it's talking because the germs on your hands, but...
Yeah, it must be that. Like, maybe it's just like this is not a significant amount. Like, you know what I mean? You probably don't get germs on there.
I don't buy that one.
I don't know. The internet says.
I mean,
so
I
it's
see
true,
what it
right?
does. I see what they're saying. I don't know that I would agree with it because I reach in. I understand. I reach in, I dip it, and I
Right.
get some stuff. Okay. But when I take that bite and I go back in, now I have my lips on it. I've got my teeth on it. I've got stuff. And so I'm going back in. So I'm obviously transparent. I put some more stuff on there. So.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So the next one I have is that all Fruit Loops taste exactly the same regardless of their color.
I mean, then why are the colors? I mean, come on.
So I figured we could test that, and we're going to blindfold Dan, and we're going to see if that's accurate. Where is the blindfold?
You said you were going to get it blindfolded.
Oh, well, I'll get that.
Technical difficulties, folks. But we're going to get it. We've got it together. We've got our stuff together. Blue, yeah, let's go blue.
Okay.
I'll probably fit around my head as it was. But
Oh, sorry.
it's all right. I'm okay. Now, so the question is, can I taste a difference? I mean, I guess I don't have to guess the colors per se. I just got to see if I can test the difference.
Right, exactly. So let's go number 1. Taste
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Should we have rinsed your palate in between?
Was that yellow?
No.
Okay.
I think it was orange actually though. So.
Okay.
Going back colors?
They all taste the same. There's like slight differences though.
Really?
I feel like there's slight differences. I feel like I can taste the difference, but then again, they all. Oh, so what? Are you not bringing me another one?
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
was waiting.
We were talking, so.
I was
know.
like, obviously I'm not going to turn down a Fruit Loop.
Right.
It's
No
difficult. I feel like there is, but maybe I'm mentally searching for it. But if there is, it's very, very, very small amounts.
Very, yeah, indistinct.
It's like there may perhaps be a no taste difference, but if there is, I feel like there is a taste difference personally, but it's small, extraordinarily small.
Good to know. Okay.
Now you know. You can say you know this now.
Now you know. We tested it for you. Okay, so the next thing I have is that contrary to the popular belief that Twinkies last forever, they actually go bad after like 45 days.
I feel like that's not true, though. That is not true.
I wish we could have tested that.
I wish we could have, although we did not have 45 days of prep for this show. I'm not going to lie. This was not in the work 45 days ago,
Right.
nor 45 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke right there. But you know, the thing is that I look at it and I think to myself, I think I've had to, my dad used to have this cabinet. It was his cabinet. And he used to keep his snacks up there because we'd all eat them,
Were they
i.e.
sweets?
me.
Your
There
dad
was a
loved
lot of sweets. And so he used to keep Twinkies up there, but then he used to forget about them for a while. And so those Twinkies would be in there for a long time, and they never molded or anything else like that. So I do not think that is true.
I mean, 45 days,
Now,
that's a little over a month.
What they're probably going off of is that best buy date. You know what I mean? Like best sell by.
Yeah.
So that means best sell by and best buy dates are not the same thing. So probably the store has like a 45 day. If it sits longer than that, you got to throw it out because the best sell by date. But that doesn't mean it goes bad. I think that's what they're going off.
This says it goes moldy after that.
I think that's a load of hoopla. All right, that's a load of. That's what that is.
Okay, so the next one I have is what an interior of a cup of noodles looks like.
Now, I think I am a connoisseur of cup of noodle. I've eaten quite a few of these cups in my day, and a lot of ramen. Now, what they're saying is that there is only going to be ramen from here to here, basically.
Yeah, like an inch or so.
Now, why else would they give you the whole cup? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because they don't even put it to the top of the cup, so you'd at least think it's all the way down to the
Exactly.
bottom, right?
I mean, and like I think of ramen, if you go buy the ramen not in a cup, it's like a giant square. So you gotta think, let's just rip it off here. So we can see the top. I'm gonna eat this ramen no matter what. So you can see there, you can see at the top, it goes up. It's about an inch down, inch and a half at different spots. Now we're gonna just do this. All right, you guys ready for the big reveal? So far, so good. Uh-oh. All the way to the bottom. Myth, crack, Judah.
No, there's still a gap.
I mean, a gap. Look at the gap in that. We will show the picture that they are showing versus the picture we're getting here.
That's a good point.
That's, there's like maybe a quarter of an inch, half inch there. This is showing like nothing in there.
Maybe this is a higher quality cup.
This is Dollar General. This is not higher quality. I'm sorry. No, it's not. Now, it's possible maybe at a bigger cup or something, but that, folks, myth busted. That's right. That's what we're here for. Taking the internet's myths, putting the test, and seeing whether they're true or not.
Okay.
Trying to lie on me website. Links in the description of what the people are.
Okay, so the next one I have is carrots actually do nothing for your eyesight.
That's
true.
That can't be true because
They have vitamin D.
And the vitamin D goes now, and you ingest it better that way. Like if you were to eat take vitamin D pills or stuff like that, it does not do the same thing. That's a load of hoopla.
I think the site is not very good. Okay.
You found it, not me.
Okay, well this one says Subway's footlong is only actually 11 inches, and I've heard that.
That's true, actually. I used to work not for Subway, but for another sandwich manufacturer. And like basically, if you think about it, here's what they do: they take out, and the person making the bread stretches it out, and it's there. But when it goes, when they cook it, it kind of expands. I imagine it gets about an inch shorter.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay, so the next one I have is that peanuts are actually
legumes,
not nuts, and they actually grow under the ground like potatoes, which I never would have.
I did not know they grew underground like potatoes. I did know they weren't actually technically a nut. We call them peanuts.
I did not know that. What a nut? Do nuts grow on trees? Or are nuts like seeds?
I am not.
Baby, you know every. You're my little Google.
I think they do grow on trees though, because like walnuts and stuff grow on trees, like walnut trees.
True.
So I do believe they grow on trees.
Yeah.
Okay. More than knowing everything. I'm a good guesser a lot of times. But no.
So you just guess and tell me it's fact, huh?
Well, no, a lot of, okay, never, back, you know what, let's just move on to the next one.
Okay. All right, so this one's kind of interesting. I never would have guessed this. Apparently oranges can actually be green, but when they're like imported into the US, they actually like treat them with gas to turn them orange.
I mean, wait, does that just mean that they weren't, like, were they just not like ripe yet, or are they just like never going to turn orange?
I don't know, but I think like they might be a different type of orange, like they're from overseas, but they know that we don't want to buy orange, like not oranges.
It's true.
So they like gas them. And
it sounds so sad though. It's like, like these oranges. It's like that new food movie that's coming out. That's like Seth Rogen and like all those James Franco and all those guys. It's like that food gingy. It's like here these like we're going to and then they put them like the gas chamber. Little cough there. That's kind of weird. That's just strange to me.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then the last one is baby carrots are just carrots that are actually too ugly and that they like slice up. So like they're actually like the big carrots that get thrown out and then cut into like that shape.
I knew that actually, but I also I have never substantiated this fact, but I had it from a good fact checker who told me that was my sister, that they actually use some of the ingredients they use to cut those is formaldehyde, which formaldehyde is what they embalm bodies with.
It's kind of scary to think about what stuff they put in food.
And so yeah, like baby carrots you're literally go buy a full carrot. It's cheaper. You get more carrot for your money.
Yeah, that's true.
And besides, they're all nasty, so who cares? They're all gross. So why even bother? Just go buy a candy bar. That's my. You look at if it's green, go down the other aisle and spend your green on a candy bar.
Yeah, apparently they're not good for your eyes. So.
What do I need to eat that for then? Told you, Mom, they weren't good for me. No, all right. Did you find these things interesting, guys? Let us know in the comments down below. And whether you knew these, there's some we learned, some that you're skeptical of, just like us. Let us know in the comments down below. And Jude, I guess it's time that we roll on into our focus. All right, so today, Judah, we're going to be in 2 Kings again. This is where I've been in my quiet time. It's been my time with personal time with the Lord, reading about, diving in. And there's just been so much stuff I've been just picking up that God's just done some amazing things. And today we're going to be in 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 11. We're going to kind of synopsis most of this. I might read it. I'll probably pick a few verses to read from. But a lot of these stories are very long, and so it's difficult for us to read in this short time context. Okay, so basically what's going on here is the king of Syria is attacking Israel. And he's coming against them, and basically while he's there, he tells his servants, he says, come with me and we're going to make our camp here, and we'll wait for the Israelites to come through. And then Elisha, being a man of God told him, don't go to this place because when you get here, they're going to be waiting for you. So the Syrian king goes, which of us is working for Israel? To his men. And as he does, he says to these men of it, he says as he says this, his servants go, it's not us, it's Elisha. He said he's a man of God, and God's telling him the words that you say in your bedroom when we're not even around. He knows everything. This very, very angers the king of Syria. He says, go and get me this guy, basically. And as he rides to go to find Elisha, he rides up with his armies come up, they surround him. In the morning, one of Elisha's servants wakes up and starts, naturally so, freaking out. Running, yelling, doing all this stuff, and goes to Elisha and says, hey, there's a bunch of guys out here, what are we going to do? And Elisha says, have no fear, because the number with us far outweighs the number of them. And he says, oh Lord, open his eyes so he can see what's around us. And instantly his servant opens his eyes and sees a massive army that's surrounding them. Basically the army of the Lord, angels and everything around them to protect them. And he sees that their numbers far outweigh what's there. And then from there, Elisha essentially sends these men, he prays that God blinds him, he leads them on this journey all the way up till they come into one of the cities, and they see that they're there, and God has some cool things. We won't go into all that today. But the point here, what I wanted to get at, Judah, was this point right here. He says, it's verse 15, it says, and when the servant of God rose early in the morning and went out, he behold the army, the horses, and the chariots were around the city. And the servant said, at last, master, what shall we do? And he said, do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those with them. Then Elisha prayed and said, O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened his eyes, and fire all around Elisha. Lord opened his eyes, the eyes of the young man, and he saw, behold, the mountains was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So we can see here that this is one of those things we've been talking about, guys, an immeasurable obstacles in front of Elisha. How could he overcome this massive army in front of him? And Elisha sits there and he says, open this guy's eyes so he can see the magnitude that's with us. This massive army of God. And why are we talking about this? Because, guys, that army that was with him then is with us now. That's the cool thing. It's like, yeah, I may be confronted with the fact that of an army beckoning at my door, but the armies of God far outnumber that. The God who is with me is stronger. Yeah. Why is this important to us today? Because, guys, we are fighting an enemy, whether we know it or not. We're confronted with a challenge that's beyond something we can comprehend, understand, or even do anything about. But the thing is, guys, that God is moving. God is working in our lives to do something better, to do something greater than what we can imagine. And so therefore, what we have to do is just say, God, I'm yours. I give myself to you. I'm here. I see the beckoning army, but I know, even though I may not see, like Elisha, the massive army of God around me. But the thing is, what we don't know, guys, is who else is there. When we think there's no other Christians. I remember a very vivid moment in my high school years was I thought I was like one of the few Christian kids. Like I knew other kids who were Christians and stuff. But but nobody who that was like me who wanted to really dive deep. I didn't know at that point. And through a course of events, was my friend Michael, who I had known since like 3rd or 4th grade. We were on the same wavelength and totally were seeking the same things. And yet I had no idea he was there. I felt alone in the school, yet secretly there was someone else just like me who also felt alone, who wanted to do more, but didn't know anybody else who wanted to do more like him. You see, guys, that's the challenge of it, is that we can get discouraged so much and think to ourselves, man, I can't overcome this. That's not possible. But God is there. And God has a plan. And though we may think to ourselves, man, I am overcome, I'm without hope or anything, God's still working. And around us, there's something great going on.
I think a lot of times people and we all say that verse, with God all things are possible, but I think we don't really believe it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us are just like, oh yeah, anything's possible, but like we don't step out in faith and do things that actually would seem impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to have the faith. I mean, like if you were confronted, like Moses, and you had an army at your back and a bunch of people saying, "What are you going to do? You're taking us out of Egypt. What are you going to do? Are you going to have the courage to stick your staff in the water and just trust that God's going to get you through?" I mean, if you're the man of God, and are you gonna have the challenge to step up and be like Peter and step out on the water in the first place? Are you gonna be able to do so? I mean, there's just so many things like Paul to follow, to do all this, to give up everything. Because the thing is, guys, we need to have God-sized visions, but we need to have trust in that our God is God. You know what I mean? And that when we go up, and then we see that further on, is that this massive army walks into Samaria, and as they do, Judah, the king looks at him and goes, should I strike him down, God? What do I do? You know what I mean? And God says, don't do that. He said, would you strike down somebody who is surrendered to you? No. Go over, make them a feast, and serve them, basically. Feed these armies that are to kill them, but feed them. And then they did, and they went out, and they never, ever came against Israel again. Yeah. You see, you don't understand God's plan beyond the immediate. And we could take the easiest thing, but the easiest thing is what's easiest for us, not what's best. So that's our challenge today, guys, is that God has a plan for you. And just like what Judah said, 100%, God is there. Do you have a God-sized vision? And are you willing to step out and do the scary stuff, trusting that God's there to catch you? Like it says in Psalm 37, the steps of a godly man are ordered by the Father, and that he will not fall headlong because his hand is there to catch him. And that is the truth we have to wear, that we have to hold fast to. Because if not, guys, we have no hope, and our faith is it's not living, it's not alive, because we're too afraid to let it.
Yep.
So.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you enjoyed, maybe give you a little thing to get the week going and everything like that, to get the day going. But let us know in the comments down below where you're at in your life with your relationship with Christ right now. Questions, comments, anything, guys. If you're not a Christian, maybe you don't know who God is. Maybe you want this thing we've been talking about. Check out the story down below. It's a link down there that'll take you through the plan of salvation. Talk to you a little bit about just what it means to be a Christian, basically. If you have questions, those will actually come to me at the end if you have any questions to ask. Or always feel free to tweet me, to Facebook, or message our Facebook group, to find me on Instagram, anything you guys want. We're there, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching, Judah. And I guess, as always, I'm Dan.
And I'm Judah.
God bless.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.